When was the last time you had a German marble cake? Marmorkuchen. Well, I just baked this one and it looks a little flat on the bottom because I had it sit like this. The smell, just absolutely amazing. You need to bake this. And I have not cut it yet, so I'm gonna cut it on camera and show you why it's called marble cake. Let's cut it. I'm very curious. So it has the marbling on the inside. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make a very traditional German marble cake because there are some elements that are so German, and this is the kind of cake that you will find at birthday parties, at afternoon coffee and cakes. While you can make this marble cake in a loaf pan, I love to do it in a bundt pan. And the first thing I like to do is actually grease the bundt pan and set that aside. For that, I'm using just a little bit of extra butter from just straight from the fridge. And I like to use my hands for that. Some people use a piece of parchment paper, but because there's so many ridges in it, I find it a little easier to use my hands for that. So it's probably a little bit more butter than I need, but as they say, butter makes it better. And also greasing it a little bit more generously than you think you need is going to help it come out at the end, because nobody likes a cake that's stuck to the cake pan and then it breaks, and it's still good, but it just doesn't look quite right. I'm not the biggest fan of these super non-stick forms for all the obvious reasons, and that's why I'd rather go through the extra effort of greasing it. We'll set that aside and come back to it in a bit. I had already measured out 250 grams of butter, and I know that that's a little bit more than 2 sticks of butter, so translating German recipes for American households, kitchens is sometimes a little bit, I don't want to say it's challenging, but it's not often as straightforward. However, you can easily measure that, and I always recommend using weight measurements rather than volume measurements for all your recipes, especially cakes, because I just tend to come out better. And for this recipe, I love using a hand mixer over my KitchenAid back there, which I love, but I like to use that for heavier doughs rather than caked batters like this. And I feel like it gives me a little bit more control over the process. The first thing I'm going to do is cream the butter. Now, I have set the butter out at room temperature probably a couple hours ago or so. So definitely you want it room temperature. You want it soft. You don't want to get it from the refrigerator because your stand mixer is going to have a really hard time mixing it. And also it tends to fly everywhere because it's too solid. So we'll cream this. This looks nice and white. You don't want to get it back to butter. You just want to cream it. And now we'll add the sugar. 200 grams of sugar. And just remember, this recipe is a German recipe. It is not overly sweet. I would, if you're not used to German recipes, I would make it with these measurements and then see how you like it before you add possibly a little bit more sugar. We'll do the same thing. We'll cream this and create a really nice consistency. I need to figure something out here with my extension cord. Oh, that's a lot better. You definitely want to start on slow, otherwise you'll have sugary, buttery bits and pieces flying all over the place. I had also set out my eggs earlier at room temperature, and now I'm adding 1 egg at a time and then mix it on high for about 20 to 30 seconds. This is really an important step because the fat from the butter and the liquid from the eggs does not want to mix because water and oil don't want to mix. So it's kind of like mayonnaise. We want to go one egg at a time and add it in slowly. And having the eggs at room temperature makes this process a lot easier because if the eggs are refrigerated or cold, it's a lot harder to get a uniform consistency. So I'm gonna continue with the remaining 4 eggs. Nice and fluffy, just the way I like it. And I have to make sure that this is not adding any extra weight to it. The next step is to add the flour. And if you want to go through the extra step, you can absolutely sift the flour. I don't find it so necessary. And the baking powder, 3 teaspoons. And I like how there's this little grate here. That will just mix in. And the last addition here is my cream. Now, the recipe says 200 milliliters of cream. We're not going to use all of it for this right here. We'll just use about 120 ml or so. I usually eyeball it. You want to use maybe 2/3 of it or so. And mix that up. Okay. And now I'm putting about half of this batter into my prepared cake pan because we want to create that marble effect. Most people tend to like the chocolate layer better than the vanilla layer, so depending on where you are in that camp, you can adjust that a little bit one way or the other. And for the chocolate layer, we'll add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder to the batter. I just preheated my oven, and that was the sound that my oven is preheated. And the remaining cream, we'll give that a swirl. We'll put the chocolate layer on top of the vanilla layer. And it's okay if you don't have a uniform color, if there's little specks in it, because after all, it is a marble cake. And I'll show you how to create the marble effect in just a moment once we've added all the chocolate layer to it. This is my favorite method that I've been using for decades, I want to say. To create that swirl effect, I'm taking my fork and I kind of go in and twirl it as I go. That creates the marble effect. Looking really nice. Let's see if we can clean the fork and add the batter. It doesn't need to go into the sink. And it's ready to go into the oven. Of course, now we're gonna have to try it. I don't know, are you camp chocolate or camp vanilla? By the way, vanilla, for a number of reasons, I had to make this recipe a little bit in a rush and record it. And I realized I forgot to add the vanilla and a pinch of salt. However, the correct recipe is in the description box below. You can easily grab it there. It has all the ingredients, and if you're not super into vanilla, you can just make it a regular yellow cake without the vanilla, but I feel like the salt extra adds a little extra taste to it. Even without the vanilla, this is so good. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more recipes like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel or to my newsletter. The QR code is right here. You can just scan it directly off of the screen, or it's also in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.